Kia ora. Welcome to Canterbury Politics, or Politics from Canterbury. We are coming at you straight out of Ireland, straight out of Jerry Brownlee's old electorate. Today we've got a classical liberal. We've got Liam, who studied classics at university and is also liberal. Coming at us from Wellington, or technically the Greater Wellington region, is Clint Smith. He's an old colleague of mine from Parliament. Very sharp political brain. Today we've all watched an absolutely outstanding video. What have we seen there, Liam? What have we seen today?
We've seen a very interesting video question mark advertisement from ACT MP Chris Bailey, which may or may not breach parliamentary service rules.
Well, I thought it did breach the rules. Clint, did you think it totally breached parliamentary services rules? If so, why?
So the rules around this are set in what's called the Speaker's directions, and they say, look, you can use your parliamentary funding for publicity. If maybe you're having a public meeting, or you've got some policy or position on a bill you want to talk about. That's a parliamentary purpose. That's fine. Well, what it says is you can't use it for electioneering. You can't use it to say, what a great guy I am. Why don't you vote for me? And that's well, we've had a look at the ad, and it looks like electioneering to me.
Okay, well, we're going to show you a couple of pictures from the ad. I put these together with my glue pen and some card earlier today. At the end of it, Chris Bailey says he's working for real change, which, funnily enough, turns out to be ACT's campaign slogan. And we have real change at the end of it. Now, these videos were made, I think, well, they went up on YouTube and Facebook a few weeks ago where I first noticed them. And I was listening to David Seymour earlier this week. We talked about what ACT's campaign slogan was.
Have you even got a campaign slogan, though? Has ACT got a campaign slogan?
Well, it's just real change. I mean, it's not...
Oh, is that it? Real change?
Yeah, it's not something we've gone away and got from an ad agency. It's something that, we've been working on, been saying for a couple of years now.
So for a couple of years now, ACT have been saying they're working for real change, and that's their campaign slogan, which is, a campaign slogan is normally something I would have thought is directly asking for votes. Liam, you've been doing the numbers on ACT. I can't understand why they didn't pay for this out of their own funds, because it looks like all of the National Party advertising is paid for out of the millions they've got. What did they get?
Well, this year they've got $1.3 million in donations over $20,000, so that's just for 2023. And they've got over $2 million banked in donations over $20,000 from last year as well. So they're definitely not strapped for cash at the moment.
Yeah, I think probably what they should do, and we're just going to wrap this up and we're going to play out the video so you can decide for yourselves watching at home whether it is in fact a total ad, a total raw on the taxpayer. But Rodney Hyde used to be known as the perk buster. Do you remember when we were working at Parliament, Rodney Hyde basically took his girlfriend, I think at the time, away. It was perfectly legal. This was perfectly legal what Rodney was doing. But he himself thought this is a bad look. And he ended up dipping into his own wallet. Fair dues to Sir Rodney. Oh, sorry, that's Sir Roger on the board. But he paid it back. He paid the taxpayer back. And I'm calling, I haven't seen him in a while, and I hope he's well. I'm calling on Porky, the pork buster from the Taxpayers Union. If you're around, Inspector Pork Buster, Inspector Porky, has he got a legal title? Clint, do you know? Do we?
I think he's just Esquire.
Esquire. Yeah, Porky Esquire. Could you have a look into this? Look, I'm sure there's lots of other political parties pushing the limits, but to me, ACT to push beyond the limits. So it's not about us. We're not really about opinion. We're breaking news here. This is a news story. I mean, come on. Let's have a look into this. I think it's a raw. I think it's cost tens of thousands of bucks to the taxpayer. I think David Seymour, if he hasn't seen these ads, David, you might not have seen him. He could be innocent. David Seymour might not have any idea what his caucus is doing. Come and have a look at it. And also, any other thoughts? Oh, one last quick thought. The ad itself is kind of tragic because Chris Bailey's talking about not many people in Parliament like him. He's dropped from number 4 to number 17. Do we think he's coming back?
It's a sliver of a chance.
A sliver of a chance. Did you notice that Chris Bailey says in it, there's not many people like him because Parliament's full of lawyers and big business people and big unionists. Clint, who's on ACT's list ahead of Chris Bailey?
Well, a lot of lawyers and big business people for Chris.
Yeah. No unionists, though.
Yeah, there's no unionists.
No, not on Nate's list, no.
But actually, Chris Bailey says he was in the PPTA, so perhaps he counts as a unionist. Anyway, viewers at home, I'm going to chuck this up now. We're going to play it out, and we're going to enjoy Chris Bailey's story, paid for by you, the taxpayer. So enjoy.
Learned through the years, it's the importance of respect. And if you're anything like me, you might have noticed that it's gone missing a bit recently. There aren't many people like me in Parliament, and if you think about it, that's why there is so little choice. Most of them are either lawyers or from the realms of big government.
Quite a lot of pathos in this.
Yeah.
So as a cop,
Almost reads like a resignation
bit
letter.
of an odd one out. That's exactly
Maybe that
why
was the resignation. Maybe the ACT board of directors didn't like us slagging off big business or lawyers.
Yeah.
I became a cop because I loved my community.
Kevin, I haven't got my glasses on. What does it say down the bottom then?
Oh, so down the bottom it says paid for by the taxpayer because it's probably the world's smallest. If you're watching this at home, I doubt you'll be able to even see the taxpayer funded. It's definitely on there, but it's at a font I've never seen it so small. This is possibly the Guinness Book of Records for smallest taxpayer funded
What
font.
matters in the end is not what you think, but how you think.
You get a magnifying glass out, you might be able to see it.
Well, I didn't notice it the first couple of times. I thought this is an excellent ad paid for by ACT's donors. I didn't realise it was paid for by me, the taxpayer, or you, the taxpayer, or just a general taxpayer. But it's a good ad, so at least, look, as a taxpayer, you might enjoy this ad, so enjoy it.
When we're short-staffed, I see how, little by little, the costs of doing business get driven up by government.
And government spending taxpayers' funds
Yeah,
on videos like
exactly.
this.
Yeah.
That's
We
right.
are drawn from real
That'll put an extra 3 cents on the
you.
pint that he's pulling.
ACT respects the consumers and taxpayers we represent. We never forget who we work for.
Yeah,
Chris Bailey,
us. You
actively
don't. You work for
working
us, Chris.
real change.
There we go. The real change. Anyway, that's enough. Thanks very much, Chris Bailey. Thanks very much, ACT. Come on, pay it back. Pay it back.